Now I know what everybody at home is thinking. It's like, man, he's put the cap back on. He's got the sunglasses. Man, he's obviously trying to look cool. No, I'm not. It's early in the morning. I'm sleepy. I'm covering up my eyes because I got sleep in it, and my hair is a mess. But it's worth it though, because we got someone who's coming on the show today that not only have I found a newfound friendship with, but the utmost respect for professionally. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of I'm Too Old for This podcast, Angie Sørensen. Now, did I say it right this time?
Listen, it's as good as it's gonna get. I like it. I like it. You look. I like to have different names. It's like, no, literally, you said it good. You said it good. It's very difficult because it's a Danish name. So it's, in English we say like Sørensen, but like in Danish it's Sørensen. So it's like it's all messed up anyway. No one ever says my name right. But I liked it. I like how you said it. I'm gonna say it like this now.
Well, I'm glad you like it because for me, me having a Latino name. And growing up, people came up with a bunch of different names for me. It was like, my last name is Lozada. So people down here in the South, they'll go, Joseph Lavitra or Joseph. It just make up different names.
Yeah.
It's just 3 syllables, y'all. Come on. But having a Danish name, you didn't grow up in England now, did you?
No. So I was born and bred in Brussels, which is in Belgium. And my mom's Danish and my dad is from Algeria. So it's a bit of a mix. But I was there till I was 18 and then I left. And, went to different places as an adult by myself. And then I ended up in England and I've been here for a long time. So
that's so funny because every time we learn about people in Europe or somebody overseas, y'all love to get up at 18 years old and just travel the world while Americans will stay home in their mom's apartment, mom's house or dad's house and just live there to like 45.
Well, we do have people like this here too. We do have, especially men who stay, with their mom like till they're like 40, 45. I mean, I've seen it.
And I take it you date them too, don't you?
I did date, I don't date them, but I'm lying. I did date someone who stayed at his parents' house, and that was only, that was about 5 years ago. We're good friends now, but it was kind of embarrassing to go, to his house and his mom and dad were there, like, every time.
Hey, mom, dad, I'm going to go have sex in my room. I'll catch y'all later. Y'all need anything?
Hey, let's just never do that again. That's not an experience I want to try again. No.
That's something like, when you think about it, when you're young, you're 16, 15, you want to have a girl in your room. You got to leave the door open. I wonder if you got the same rules when you're 24, 25, 30, 35. Hey, mom, I know you're paying the bills here, but I want to have a girl in my room. Do I need to leave the door open? I just don't see how you can live with your parents at 35 or 40.
Yeah, it is. Well, you have to ask him. But just so you know, we never had sex in their house. That just didn't happen.
Well, Angie, I would promise you, if I was living with my parents, you will have sex in my parents' house.
I don't know if it's a threat or a promise.
It will be a promise. I promise you.
Well, I hope it's a very big house.
Size doesn't matter. I did your show. Mm-hmm. And you have people, who don't know this, when you go on a podcast, a lot of people like to pre-interview you. And I remember you told me, okay, in an email, about 30 minutes, we're just going to talk, just get to know each other, see that we can relate with each other.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of pre-interviews before, but that was the first one that we talked for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that wasn't meant to happen, but we did. We're besties now.
And so fast forward a couple of weeks later, we get to the podcast. And now her podcast is like an hour long. And I suggest everybody go check it out. It's a very interesting podcast.
Yeah, too old for this.
Yeah, I'm too old for this.
Just too old for this.
Oh,
Actually, originally I called it that before I launched it. I'm too old for this. Changed that, so let me just say too old for this.
But it's funny to me because so we started doing the interview, and I'm telling you, I don't know how you felt about it, but personally for me, it was just like talking to an old friend from high school, an old friend from college. We stayed online for 3.5 hours, and a little more than 3.5 hours. It got to the point where we were like, "Hey, when are we gonna close this up?" I mean, I enjoyed the conversation. I did not want it to end, but that same right, I was like, I got other shit to do. But
yeah.
like, can we talk again?
Listen, it was so long. We had like a toilet break and a snack.
So let's get started about you. So you said you left the house at 18. You traveled the world. Your podcast.
Well, I wish I traveled the world. I hadn't traveled the world. I went to different places hoping to settle. So I moved to different countries, but it wasn't to travel. I worked, I went to school, of course, but I worked since I was 15. I was just like, I went places, work, will I settle, will I not? So it was sort of more to find my home. But yeah. So I went traveling much later.
So have you found a place to settle down?
Well, I've been in London for 20 years on and off. So I guess here. But I do love it here. I have good friends but I'm not sure. I mean, the whole concept of home and belonging is one that I'm battling with anyway. So, which is probably a whole other kind of program. But I am here. I am here. I think I do miss nature. I do miss animals. I miss the sun. So London isn't really conducive to that. And with all the lockdowns, you don't get to do the London thing. So. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm here. I love it. But I don't think I'm gonna die here. That's all I know.
Have you ever came to America?
Yeah, I went to New York. I've been to New York. I've been to LA.
In New York and LA. Okay, whatever. Hold on. Tell me. I think we discussed this one time, and I told you, New York is New York. I think New York is the centerpiece of America. But however, LA is nowhere. We don't consider LA America. LA is like a whole.
I had a crush on New York. I didn't have a crush on LA. I couldn't get away fast enough.
It is. If there's one state I do not want to visit, there's California. I'm like, I will have nothing in common. I've been to New York so many times, but California, nah, no, you can have that. You got to excuse me. It's early in the morning here, and I had to drink some water.
It's really early for you. I don't know how you do it. I guess you have children.
Angie, I will wake up at 4 a.m. to talk to you because I know for a fact you're too old for this shit. And we got to get it. And we got to just knock this interview out. Yeah, so that's why I did it. And plus,
thank you.
And plus, as the time of this recording, one, America's going down the hell. And two, I have like so much stuff to do, and I was looking at my schedule, and I was like, "Wait, hang on, whoa, I'm double booked here. I got to go. I got to take my kid to the doctor. Oh crap, I got to move some stuff around." And then the first person I looked at, I was like, "Well, she is a new friend of mine. I guess she wouldn't mind if I say, hey, can we like reschedule or something?" And then as soon as I got on the phone and then I texted you and you was like, "How dare you reschedule?" I said,
I did not say that. I did not say that. I just met you in the middle because I can't do that. I couldn't do it as early as you wanted me to, or late. I can't remember if it was early or late. Yeah.
Well, no, because I realized people who don't know at the time of this recording, London is on like strict lockdown, like they're on quarantine, and so. Selfishly, I was thinking to myself, like, I'm up early anyway. So, it ain't nothing for me to be up at 5:30 in the morning. 5:30 in the morning is like 5 hours ahead or 5-6 hours ahead of me. So it would be about time for her to get up and get going. But then but she let me know, like, hey, look, I'm not going to work tomorrow, so I'm sleeping in. So
no, 11
a.m. Like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. ain't gonna happen. You know,
No,
you can.
but you know what? Do you know? Actually, it's weird because normally I would totally embrace meeting early. I'd be like, yeah, 9 a.m., 8 a.m., fine. But I haven't been sleeping for 4 days. Like I'm not like I'm still up at 3 in the morning. I don't know what's going on with me. It's been like because I used to have insomnia and I've cured it. Like I'm fine now. But now for some reason I'm not sleeping. So I know when you said I can't believe I have to like say that. I was like, oh, we're not gonna have to divulge this. So I'm lazy in the morning. But yeah, I am lazy in the morning. But especially because like I'm not sleeping. So when I said like when you said like 10 or 11 a.m. my time, I was like, oh no, I'm so not even fresh yet because I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping.
Right.
So I need those extra hours in the morning to just to catch up on that sleep.
Now,
So it's really frustrating. I don't know why I'm not sleeping. It's really
I am going to break the third wall here.
Yeah.
Now, the two other times we talked face to face,
Yeah.
Angie, I mean, I'm not saying you can tell on camera, she's a very attractive young lady. However, when we talked, she was not as dressed up as she is right now.
Yeah, because it was not on video.
Her hair, it was like, when I first met her, she just had like, hair pulled back, hair was all up, and she was snorting cocaine. I was like, God, lady. But then all of a sudden she gets on. I was like, who is this? It's
Okay, I was not snorting anything, and I still look cute. I'm sure.
You know what? I actually got a new business structure. What I'm going to do is, if you ever heard of onlyfriends.com, basically what onlyfriends.com is basically women share naked photos and videos, and men will pay for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to send everybody. I'm going to send everybody pics and nude photos of me, and they're going to have to pay me to stop. So that's going to be a new business venture.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Well, what's the price to make you stop?
Probably
because I guess you need to be like making money, right? You don't want to set the price too low.
We haven't got that far in my business structure. My business advisor.
We may need to brainstorm some ideas to help you make money on that.
Yeah, I don't want you to go steal my idea either.
Okay, I won't. Okay. I'll try not to.
No, you will. You girl, you looking on, man. I can tell you're gonna be working on pictures tonight. I'm like,
I can't believe that it's called onlyfriends.com, but you get paid to show naked pictures of yourself. How is that?
I don't know. I mean,
it's friendly, but how is that OnlyFriends? I guess it's because you can't touch, you can only see. Is that the concept?
I guess I had two people. One young lady I had on. She's I'm probably gonna hopefully I get her back on. She was somebody that surprisingly me and her had a lot in common. We talked, but she was at one time kind of still is a professional porn star.
Yeah,
and we talked and but she had an OnlyFriends. I still don't know what you do on OnlyFriends. Like I'm assuming that it's naked.
Well, it makes sense that she would be on OnlyFriends because that's also part of her. That's how she earns money. I love interviewing sex workers. By the way, I've had a couple of sex workers on the podcast.
I should introduce you to her.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you can go check out our video, Rebecca Love, on the CTS Network.
I'll have a look.
Then we also had a Playboy Playmate, and she had the OnlyFriends.com.
Yeah, but that makes sense. It so makes sense. Like it so makes sense for them. Like why not? Yeah.
And I tried my best to act.
You have to show your face on the OnlyFriends.com.
I don't. How much money can you make? I don't know. I really don't know. You're asking me questions like I don't know. But
okay. Yeah.
I'm sure that you have to I'm sure they participate. I don't know what they do. I don't have the money for it. But
I'll speak. But I'll check out. I'll definitely like to. I'll check out the interviews of those the Playmate and the and what was the other one? The porn star.
The porn star actually has her own Twitch account and she's in the video games now. So she's kind of involved. I mean, I think she still dabbles into the porn industry, but I didn't know she was a porn star, but I'll get back to that in a minute.
Yeah, she pivoted. I like it. She's smart. She's smart. She pivoted. She
No,
went
see
into video games.
see, right, but in America, if you have HBO or Cinemax, they do dirty movies, and basically is sex illustrated. And I knew of her doing that back when I was a kid, back when I was a teenager. I didn't know she did like actual real porn. I didn't know that much about her to the point to in the interview you can see me like, oh, you do real porn. I'm like, I got my first a channel dedicated to my mother's name. I got a porn star right here in front of me. I'm like,
you're doing your mama
you're
proud.
welcome, Mom.
Is that when I'm with someone I trust, I actually do, that's someone I trust and that I love. I feel like part of my job, part of like, well, actually, both of our job is to make the other person, like to realize, for them to see what I see in them. And so, I'll definitely always like, make them feel confident as a man, know that they're hot, they're sexy. Like, listen, I've got good taste. So if I like you, you're a catch, basically. So, like, if I see them, if we're out and, if they flirt or if they flirt and I expect them when they go out, if I'm not there, like, I'm hoping that women are looking at them and trying to flirt a little bit. Like, and also it's great for their confidence. There's a way of doing it, right? It's like if you trust someone, so it's kind of fun and sexy to know that they're out there and they can still, they still got it. But they always, if they come home to you and they're not doing anything indecent and they're not swapping numbers and they're not giving people hope or the wrong impression, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of flirting. I think some people take it to a different level that's uncomfortable for their partner, but then maybe you're not a match. You have to be with someone who also understands you and knows like that's your personality. And if it gives them too much anxiety, then maybe you're not a match, or or maybe you're doing something that may make you feel that way. But it's like, I think there's nothing wrong with being. It's good to be able to see your partner, see that he still got it or that she still got it. It's kind of it's hot actually. So yeah.
Oh, is it?
Well, yeah. Well, as long as he's not out there swapping numbers, and that's not hot anymore, then that's the problem. But yeah, if he's if he still got it, yeah, of course. Yeah.
I wish my wife.
Like I want him to feel confident. I'm not there to like bring him down. I want him to feel confident because the thing is, I benefit from that too. The more confident he is, the more he's got like a pep in his step, the more everything. It's like me. The more confident I am, the easier I am to be around. The more like if I don't feel insecure, I'm a lot nicer to be around. If I feel insecure, I'm a nightmare. So.
And that's funny to me because I've always been attracted to secure, somebody who's confident. And I had two things for me personally that when I looked at in like the relationship field or dating field, I always looked at a woman who had confidence. I like shy girls. I'm not gonna lie to you, but something about
a confident doesn't mean woman. She's not confident. So you think you
don't get me wrong. Yeah. I mean, believe it or not, in public, I'm very shy. It takes me a little time to warm up to you. And I consider myself a very confident person. I mean, with that said, but the one thing that's always got me with women, the number one thing, the smile.
Yeah. Well, smile is important.
Oh yeah. If a woman had a beautiful smile, oh my God, you had me. I'm talking about you. There's so many women that had like just smiled at me the right way, and I'm like, can I touch? I'll do anything you want. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I want you to leave me alone. Oh, okay. But that comes to a question, like why? And this is a personal question. You don't have to answer. Just listening to our conversations and listening to your podcast. Why didn't you ever get married?
Well, okay. There's a couple of reasons. One, I've never been gonna get married one day. That's never been, if someone always asked me, and I used to always get that, that feedback. People ask me, so where do you see yourself in 5, 10 or whatever, years, especially on dates. I would never mention never include the man and the kids. That was just never. I'll just go, I hope I'm living somewhere I love, and I'm earning money from what I love doing, and I just want to be creative, So marriage I never dreamed of the big white meringue dress. Like that's just never been my thing. So I never prioritized it. I always thought that I had to be at a certain level in my career. I mean, quote unquote career. I mean, it's not really at this stage, but like a career to be able to feel at ease and confident being in a relationship. I thought I had to be accomplished. So for a long time, I did not want the distraction. I used to see men as distractions. So
Mhm.
I guess I didn't prioritize it. And the other thing is, I did have a couple of chances to just to settle down, but it just wasn't right. So that's the thing as well is like one of my biggest thing is I don't want to feel trapped wherever I am, whatever it is that I do, who I am with, in every area of my life. Freedom is important, but what I've realized is I also do crave a bit more stability and security, and I think like so now now it's like I look at relationships differently. I look at men very differently as well. I pick a lot, much better man, much more, healthy for me. And it's a lot more fun and it's a lot better. So now I don't necessarily want the ring. Like, I mean, if it comes, great. I don't know. Like, who's going to say no to jewelry? But like, I just mean, it's just like, I'm just looking for a partner in crime,
Right.
like a long-term partner in crime. Then however we want to do that relationship, then that's how we do it. Like we create that. But I never fantasize of the wedding day. Like and also when I've been to weddings, um and I think, I'm not saying no to getting married. Like I think, if I'm, I probably would want to, if I'm with the right person, I'm in love and all of that stuff. But when I have been at weddings, that setting the whole day, to me, it sounds like the worst day ever. It's like because everyone's just like looking at you. You can't do a move, and then you have the pictures, like the photographer's taking these pictures, and you have to pose all the time. And I just want to enjoy the moment. I just want to enjoy the
Right.
moment. I want to have a good time. This is like a celebration of two people who love each other. It's supposed to be, it. I just find it sometimes a little bit contrived, and it's just not something. Maybe it's just how I grew up or who I am as a person. I don't know, but I don't know. I think if I was to get married, and this is a very long answer to your question, so sorry, but this is why I'm not married. I talk too much. But if one of the thing is like, I would rather just have a few people being somewhere in nature, like maybe like by a cliff or something, like, or where there's a beautiful sunset, like in nature, just a few people, and have a ceremony, with a priest or whatever it is that we choose, and do it that way, and just have like an amazing time.
You know,
But yeah,
and just talking to you, I
yeah.
can tell the perfect guy for you right off the bat. You need somebody, one, to everybody who wants to know how to get to the heart of Angie. This is
Don't give them
I'm
the recipe. They may not be
I'm
nice
giving
people.
them the recipe right now. One,
Okay, go
because
on.
one of my biggest gifts,
Hmm.
God, because I used to be a salesman. Doing what I do for doing what I do for a living. I have to
Yeah,
listen.
you read people.
Yeah. I do what I do. Put it
Yeah.
that way. Uh, I would say this: you need somebody, one, confident,
Yeah.
two, who has their own life. They can't, Angie wants you to be a part of her life, not be her life.
Hmm.
Angie, you gotta give Angie a little space. You gotta let Angie explore because she's a peacock. You gotta let her fly a little bit. I don't think peacocks fly, but anyway, that's a joke from a movie, by the way. Just
Okay.
in case you don't understand it. I think confident, be a part of her life, not be her life. And number three, basically, you just gotta let Angie do her own thing. If you can do that in a relationship with Angie, I think Angie will fall in love with you.
Yeah, but you've got to be a little sweet too, and have a bit. You have to be a little bit sensitive, and
A
be
little
able to make me
sweet.
laugh. Like you have to be able to take the piss out of me a little bit, like that.
You got to
I
take the we out of
love
her.
that.
You
I
got
love
to
that.
take the we out of her. Yes.
Yeah. If I'm not peeing myself a little bit laughing when I'm
Right.
with you, no, but it's just patient. Because I think sometimes I feel because I like to take my time and get to know someone,
Yeah.
and
I
I've done the whirlwinds. I've done the whirlwinds before, and they're not good. So I like to take my time, but yeah, I mean, and I think it's important. It's true that we said about them having their own life, because I probably do have a tendency to want to fuse, even though like, and that's not good because I've got so much I want to do, and I got
right.
going on. So I need to stay focused. So it's important that they stay focused, and then and they make sure that you keep that
Let me
parallel
ask you
of
this.
like fusing.
Let me ask you this. Do you
Mm,
think the love feeling goes away after a while? I mean, I'm close to 40.
yeah.
Uh, you're not scared to tell people your age.
No, I'm
I'm not saying
42.
it.
I'm 42.
And you don't look a day over 22, but you're 42.
That's better than a day over 41, like you told me the first time. I
Yeah.
was
So,
so Mhm.
with that said,
Yeah.
do you think that love feeling, like, when you're a kid,
Hmm.
you're 16, 15, and you fall in love with that girl, or you fall in love with that boy, or for some people, both. Uh, and that's no, I'm not gonna say that. But that said, you fall in love with that special person.
Yeah.
It it hurts. I mean, when you're in love with someone, it hurts. I don't
Well,
know
yeah,
how
there's a lot
everybody
of
else
things
feels.
that, well, yeah, it's an emotional labor. Like it's like things will come up, and it's like an unconscious thing. You can't help it. It's like and I love that topic. And I have like, you know, I've gone to therapy, but I've got therapists as well who come on the show and talk about this kind of stuff. And it really is like you can't help who you fall in love with, and all these things are gonna come because it's a part of healing. And so the more wounded you are, the more awful it gets. But you
Yeah.
have to go past that stage. But yeah, that's why people say, they have the feels, like they say, they have the feels because it's like it's scary to fall in love with someone.
So
Um,
my question is, do you think over time, and when you start getting up in our age, do you think
yeah,
that feeling kind of, it's not like, for me, like when I was a young man, to meet a new person, it was exciting. It was,
yeah. No, I don't think
and
that goes away. I think, are you saying
you
like,
think,
you think that maybe like with age you become less able to fall in love? Is that what you're saying?
yes,
Is that okay? So I think you're probably more cautious. So now I don't just go. Now I understand that if a certain type of guy, um, I used to be like into a certain kind of guy, and I thought this was exciting, but it wasn't. It was just causing me anxiety, and it just was weird, just really bad choices. But so I'm aware now what the signs are. But I think no, I think that falling in love thing, I believe that you can do that at any age because it's a chemical reaction. You are not consciously in control of it. So like you may go to work one day, or you may go to a party or a dinner, whatever it is, and all of a sudden this person just makes you feel that thing. Or you, even better, you know someone, you date them slowly, and all of a sudden something kicks in, and you start to really like them, and you get really excited, and then they touch you and you feel it all over your body, that kind of stuff. So no, I don't think it goes away. I think you're probably more, I'm personally more cautious. I take more of my time. I'm a lot more, which is a good thing. I think I've become a lot more, you know, um, aware of myself over time, and just like I like to just, probably more like I understand also that a man can come and go, like whatever is happening now, whatever is happening, it doesn't mean that the feelings will stay. Like you don't, so I don't get carried away with myself, because I also know myself. I might suddenly be like, I don't think this is not, you're not it. um so you just take your time. But then I think once you decide to make that leap, or when you make the leap, then that's it. You just, yeah, of course you can fall in love. You can be giddy like as if you were 16 again.
so
Yeah.
does that still happen to you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, let me just think. Not as often, obviously, but no, I definitely had it. I definitely had it. With the last boyfriend I had, and definitely, yeah. I mean, I would see him and I'd be like, sometimes I had to like literally like just catch myself, because I was like, oh my god, he's like, I because I got to know his personality first. And so really connected. And then when we finally met, I was just like, oh my God, thank God I didn't. I mean, I'd seen these pictures, we'd met online, but I was like, thank God I didn't know how attracted I was to him, because it's like I wouldn't have been able to have been myself as much, because I would have been too like a little girl.
That is something I really want to hit. I don't know how much more time we have, but
I'm okay for time.
Okay. Well, baby, then I'm here for you, girl. So
this is my peak now. This is what time is it? It's 3:00, so I'm awake. It's 3:00 in the afternoon here. I'm good.
So my question is, let's talk about online dating, because I mean, you talk about relationship tips. What's the name? I keep wanting to say I'm too old for. What's the name of the podcast?
Too old for this.
Too old for this. Check it out. We're gonna talk more about it in a minute. But online dating. Now, okay, look, you and me. I talked to you for now 6 hours in my entire life.
Oh yeah.
I'm easy to say, hey, look, that person's a friend of mine. I got a guy tomorrow I'm going to interview that the same thing happened with you, happened with me. We was only supposed to talk for like 30 minutes and we ended up talking for 3 hours. Yeah. Somehow you find it, during this process, anybody that's ever started a YouTube page or a podcast, you're part of a small community, and you'll meet people from different parts of the country or different parts of the world, and you'll find something that y'all build rapport, y'all have something in common. Same thing with me and Angie. We build a rapport. We have stuff in common. We both like to, I don't know what we like to do, but we
like to talk.
We like to talk. We talk a lot.
And have fun. Have fun, yeah.
Yeah, and have fun. With that said, online dating. Mm-hmm. Okay, I did a little online dating back in the day, and
but this was like back in prehistorical time, right? Because
online like dating. Now I got to say, stuff I've heard, online dating is a little different than and being a private investigator, I've learned a little something about online dating from some cases, and I can't get into it, but it's a little different than what I grew up doing, but back in 2005, 2006, 2004, et cetera, you post a profile online and you're trying to go out and build a relationship with somebody. Now, it could have been the other way around. Now, these days, you go online, you're just going to have sex. There's nothing wrong with that. All power to you. However,
that's not me. That's not me.
Oh no, no.
But I mean, some people do, and good for them. Look, I'm a bit jealous actually a little bit that they can just go and have sex and enjoy like that with a stranger, because it'll make life so much easier. But yeah, no, it doesn't do it for me.
No. Angie, I wasn't saying that it was you.
No, I know.
No, Angie, I know you.
I'm clarifying.
I know, girl.
Yeah.
I know you don't take a wee on yourself. I know you're not that type of person. But
no, but I don't know. I don't have anything against people doing that. I think I think it's great that they can. I think it's great that they can. I think part of that is probably a bit more evolved than I am in a way.
But my question is, being burned online, like for me, I don't feel like I ever burned anybody, because
What do you mean by burning someone? What do you
mean? I'm talking about, you see a picture of this person, and then you start talking to the person, and then you show up at the meeting point, and then the person that you thought you was going to meet wasn't the same person.
Oh, it's like being catfished. Like that.
Not more like catfish. You see, it's the person, but they put a profile picture of them.
It happened to me. It happens to all of us. I had a guy on his profile. He had dark hair. Okay, dark hair. Mm-hmm. Spoke with him for a month. I couldn't see him because I was studying for some exams. This was like 2 years ago. I studied for some exams, so I was like, I can't see you for months because I have to study. And so then I finally met. We talked on the phone and got on quite well. Then I met him, and he had white hair. And the thing is, I don't have anything against white hair. It's just that I felt like I'd been lied to. I felt like I was like, what is this? Like, Like all of his pictures were clearly from like 10 years ago. And the thing is, we then went, I almost like turned around when I saw him from afar. I was like, oh, and I was like, no, don't do that, don't do that. So I went to it, had a chat, sat down, we had pizza, a drink, and that's it. And I went home, and I was like, I'm not seeing this guy again, not because I don't like him, not because he's not good looking, none of that. It's
He
because I
lied
was
to
like,
you.
do you know what? Yeah, it's like it's a bit weak because the thing is, other women or maybe even I would be like, oh, that's attractive. I like that you're a bit of a silver fox. Like I like that, but the fact that he
Silver
didn't
fox.
show that is deceptive, and that's the bit that I got turned off. Because if you show me who you are, at least I'm not wasting my time. You're not wasting your time, and we don't have to be deceiving each other. Like, and that I was like, that's a bit. I didn't like it. It was uncalled for. And I was just like,
Yeah,
and it's a bright guy. He was a lawyer. Like, it's not like as if he's dumb or nothing. Like, I was just like, oh, yeah.
well, it is uncalled for, and
Mm.
I think it is deceptive because that is like, first off, if you in America, if you get a date a lawyer, women jump on that because one thing I've learned, there's nothing sexier than a fat wallet. You could be the ugliest man in the world, but you got that. You could be
No,
the fat.
I tell you, no, a good wallet is good, but I'll tell you another story about a big wallet. So I don't interrupted you again. But that basically, I went on this date with this guy. Now he was a bit younger than me, which I don't usually tend to do anymore. But he was maybe 4 years younger than me, and he was good looking. Didn't seem to have anything wrong with him. And this was like a blind date that was set up for me. So
Oh, we
anyway, so
gotta get
I
into
met up with
blind
him and
dates.
we went for dinner.
Uh,
And turned out this guy, so he was good looking, he was kind, he was nice, and he was at this stage. So I think at the time he was probably 36. He was at this stage of his life where he did not need to work anymore. He'd done some very good in he was in commercial property development, so he'd made some good
mhm.
investment, made a big hit. I mean, anyway, big fat wallet. Um, and I remember I sat there at the dinner, and I was just like, the thing that came through was that he just had no passion, no drive. It was like, I just don't know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I don't have any hobbies. I don't have any. There's nothing that interests me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a bit of cooking, and I enjoy cooking. I have cooking. Like, it was just like this the whole time, and I was just like, I am not getting turned on because, like, the thing that's really hot about someone is that, for me, to me, that this going to be different for someone else. Everyone has different desires and needs, but to me, it's like, it's that, like, what I call like the life force. It's like, where's that energy coming? Like, where's your passion? I don't care if you're passionate about collecting stamps, go for it. At least you have a passion. Like, I just need to feel something burning. I need a fire. And you could be 70. Oh, I'm not going to go from 70 at this, at 42. But let's say, I can see why women are attracted to older men as well, like, way, way, or like over 20 or 30. And same with men who are attracted because they still have that fire going for them. They still have that thing. They care. Like, they have an ambition of something. It doesn't matter what it is. And that is a lot more of a turn on than a big wallet, like, by far. Because your ambition is going to be fun. There's going to be an exploration. We're going to have conversation. You're gonna have like a
So,
boundary, like, don't touch my stamp collection. I don't know, like, things like that. It's gonna be fun, whatever.
so,
But a big
so,
wallet alone doesn't do it.
so basically, one, be passionate. You got to add that to the Angie
Have
recipe.
some
Be
fire.
passionate.
Have some fire. I don't
Have
know
some
what
fire.
it is. Yeah.
Gentlemen, if you live in London, England right now, you're not taking notes. I don't know what you're doing.
I didn't know you were gonna set me up. Okay, cool. I like it.
I'm telling you right now, if you're in London right now, you're not taking
Yeah.
notes. I don't know what are you waiting for. The Joester here is hooking you up right now.
Look, I
Yeah,
did
I,
say
I
to you
even
I was gonna move to Alabama because obviously, you guys have a better reaction to me than guys over here, I think.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you right now. And that's a question I want to ask you too. I was leading it that before we got into that story, I was leading into like catfishing and stuff like that.
Mm.
But I was just gonna say this. I got catfish a lot. And at first it was like I was nice about it because I'm a gentleman. To me, going on a date was like almost like a contract. Like I promise you this and this. It's like that story I told you about being friend zone, and you're here on the podcast. You know, to me, I said we're going to a dinner and bowling, and yeah, I lived up to it. Now, did I want to? No, I wanted to get the hell out of there. But however, I lived up to it. So for me, at first, it was like, yeah, okay, let's continue to date. I got nothing else to do. Obviously, I'm single. But then after a while, because from 2006 to 2008, it was not, well, 2005 to 2008, I went on a lot of dates,
Yeah.
and it was like I'll just go out and just meet people, and I'll go, man, at one point I would be in the mall and just, I'll come up with this stupid shit. I can't believe it worked. Gentlemen, just go up to them and ask a woman a question, and you can get a phone number. And you don't have to. And I'm the shyest, most at the time. I was the shyest, most insecure person you could ever meet. But you start a conversation with a girl and you ask for a phone number. 8 out of 10 times you're just gonna get the phone number. All you had to do is listen to her. And
I like how you start with the conversation. You don't go up to her and say, "Hey, sweet thing," or "Hey, you're hot," or "Hey, look at you," like, or like you actually
no,
go just ask a question. What did you ask? Let's spill some heating.
what
What question did you ask?
well, it was funny. I'll tell you a story.
Yeah.
I have a buddy of mine, and you know, we talked about you, me, and one of our private conversations. We talked about football,
Yeah.
And here in Alabama, college football is very important. And there's two teams: there's Alabama and there's Auburn. And my friend and his wife are big Auburn fans. And so I went into the mall and they had like a little college football store. And I was gonna pick up something for like some Auburn stuff. And it was this is 2006. Now you guys understand this is a different time. Now I was a gym rat. I was in shape. It was nothing for me to take my shirt off at the time. I'm 260 now. You're not gonna see me take my shirt off now.
You look
But
fine, Joe. You
yeah,
look fine.
I know, Angie. I know. Girl, you don't have to tell me.
Yeah, you
But but anyway, I was looking for a gift for my friend and his wife. I wanted, because they're at the time, and still today, I'm not sure to say at the time, they're good people. We don't buy gifts for each other no more, but I talk to them every day. So I was looking, I was like, and I saw this girl, and it's not that I was trying to hit on her. I was like, excuse me, madam, I'm trying to find a gift for my friend and his wife. Is anything that you have in mind? And of course, she helped me. And then she didn't work there; she was just there. And then I just like if I'm talking to you, I'm just start asking questions. I listen to your answers, and then I'll build the conversation from there. So, hour and 30 minutes later, she's walking me around the mall, showing me things, and I ended up getting her phone number, and we talked for a couple months, and nothing really led to anything, but it was just so funny. Guys think you have to be, they're so insecure about stuff. And I've seen some of the strangest things when a guy will go up and ask a girl for a phone number. And you'll think, man, that guy cannot get that girl's phone number. And that guy will get that girl's phone number. Why? Because he had confidence. And that's the one thing that a woman wants. Something I didn't understand for a long time. But you have to have confidence. And at that particular time, I probably didn't have confidence. I really was just asking the girl, can you just help me find something?
But I guess it's a fine line, isn't it? And it must be difficult. Like for men, I mean, I guess I don't know. Maybe in the US is probably it's different from in the UK. I think in the UK, guys don't really come up to you unless like where I used to live, like down the road, where it's a lot more of a mixed crowd. You'd have guys like like where it's very sweet, very fun. They go, hey, like they're like, I have your number, like from across the street, and I just smile. I go, so I got a boyfriend. They go, okay, like but it's a different culture as well. So, but in general, in general in England, not say UK, that's the wrong way, but in England, guys don't really come up to you that much unless like it's just a bit difficult. But I think every time a guy comes up to a woman, he always faces the risk of being rejected, and that's always, it's almost on him every time, it's like he makes the move, he gets rejected. So I think some guys learn to have that, like either thicker skin or not caring, and some of them are just, I guess maybe arrogant. Some of them are just like genuine. But I think sometimes the real genuine guys, sometimes they miss a lot of chances because they're so worried they're gonna get rejected. And I think it's something that we spoke about last time as well, you and I, is that I think for me, like if a guy comes up to me and let's say when we used to go to clubs and bars and stuff like that, he asked if he could buy me a drink or he want to dance or whatever it was. If I knew I wasn't interested, I would always say like, oh, thank you for asking, but because it takes a lot of guts to come up to a woman, especially here. And I would say, thank you, but I'm with my friends, or I have a boyfriend. That was always like the go-to, have a boyfriend. And that's it. And then they're not humiliated, because you smile, you say thank you, and you politely decline. And usually they always get it. They never like insist. If they insist, then we're in a different situation. We're back to what we talked about before. Then we flip. But it's like, yeah. So I think there's that thing. I think if guys always come up to women and they being ridiculed or mocked, or the girls go, "Oh, come on, look at you. Why would I ever?" Like that's nasty as well. And I think so. I don't blame guys if they feel a bit scared or if they don't know how to do it. They think they have to be overconfident. But I like when you said about starting a conversation. I just ask her a question. Like, it's like for a woman, there's a trick as well. If you're in the club and you like a guy, it doesn't always mean that you like a guy, but you can ask him, hey, ask him a question. Because they like to feel needed. So like, do you mind just holding my bag, or am I holding my jacket while and then they feel like a bit important. It's kind of funny. And then you can start a conversation like that. And same with guys, you can just, say, hey, I don't know, something stupid, whatever you
see, I laugh at myself now because I used to have this stupidest crap to say. I would go in this, for me, I thought this worked. It really never did, but my thing was, excuse me, do you have the time? Oh, it's 7:45. Oh, okay. That's it. That was the end of that was it. And then I was like, I'll try to pull from there. But see, to me, at one time, rejection was a big thing. Like, oh, I don't want to be rejected.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
But now, you get a certain age. Now, of course, this. I'm not in the dating scene no more. I can sit here and talk all this and say, what I'll do now, but I'm not in the game no more. So I don't know how I would be on the field.
However, as long as you knew, like it's a bit of a numbers game. Like you will get rejected at times, and sometimes you won't.
Oh yeah.
I think you'd do fine because you're very good at talking with people. I mean, you've got you got the chat, like how to.
Yeah, I know charm. I know I got all the charm, boys, good looks. I know it's not. It's hard to be me sometimes, but with that
said, everybody loves me. Everybody loves Joey. It's so difficult.
Yeah, it's hard, especially people in London, England, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the first time people in London, England is ever going to get to meet me, and they're probably going to be blowing up your page. You're like,
there'll be a statue for you. There'll be a statue, raised for you.
Yes, next to the Queen. Mm-hmm. It is a numbers game. In sales, they have this thing called the law of averages.
Yeah.
You talk to 100 people, you're gonna get one yes. So when you're at a club and you go up and talk to somebody and say, okay, hypothetically, let's go. I'm in a pub in London and I see Angie. Of course, if I see Angie in the club, I'm gonna notice her because you can tell by her smile. I'm gonna like, oh, that's it. I gotta go talk to that girl. So to all the guys who want dating advice, one, I recommend you find somebody else than me. But what I would do is real simple. I would go up to her and, hey, nice to meet you, or such. Try to make some type of small talk. I see her smile, or maybe she had a blouse on. That's a beautiful blouse. Where'd you get that? Oh, I got it from
Sarah.
London
It
store.
wasn't
Oh,
that.
London store. Wow, that's amazing. I shop there all the time too. It's a women's store. I got a unique lifestyle. With that said, how can I buy you a drink? Oh yeah, sure. Because a woman's never gonna say no to a drink. Ever. I've never heard you never heard a story in the club where a
Oh
woman said
no,
no to a
yeah,
drink.
yeah. I have. If I'm not interested, I'm not accepting a drink.
Get the here.
No, I promise you. Oh, I've turned down a lot of stuff. I've turned
You
down a
turn
lot
down
of things.
drinks?
Yeah, I've turned down a lot more than that. Yeah,
Well, yeah, of
yeah.
course you have, Angie.
No, no, I've done that. No, but like in terms of like, I mean, no, I've yeah, no, I no, yeah, no. If I'm not interested, I'm like, it depends. If we're a group of people
Angie,
and
to
there's
stop
another
right, Angie,
group, and then you
Angie.
have like it's a
No,
but
no,
if
no, no.
someone,
Angie, stop right there.
mhm,
You turned down free drinks.
yeah, 100%, yeah.
What is wrong with you?
If I'm not interested, yeah. If I know
Angie,
like if I'm
it's
catching
a
a
drink. You
vibe
don't owe
or no,
hold on. You
I know I don't know them anything, but I'm just saying like if like I don't need someone to buy me a drink for one, but two, it's like if they buy me a drink, it's great. But if I don't mean that I have to necessarily be interested in them, but it's like sometimes if I'm picking a vibe that I know I'm not going to want to hang out with them and I just don't want to talk with them, I'm not going to accept the drink because you can't, you know, you can't just be like, okay, thank you, and then bye, take the drink. You kind of want to stay a little bit and have a little chat. Like sometimes they just go themselves.
shit.
It's fine. But I'm just mean I have turned down stuff. Yeah, of course.
No, Angie, don't do that no more. Get that
Is that
drink.
why I'm not married?
That has nothing to do with marriage. You get that drink, Angie. You deserve it. You're there
I
to
do.
you
No, I
have
do deserve it. I do deserve it.
you
Actually,
do
I'm
deserve
very,
it. And don't
very
ever
appreciative.
forget that. You deserve that free drink. And
Mhm.
fellas, don't think because you buy a drink for a female that they owe you anything.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
yeah, for
because
sure.
trust me, they'll tell you. Nah, don't for me personally, the buying the whole drink thing, to me, if I would not offer you a drink unless I felt that you and me had some type of rapport together. I
Yeah.
wouldn't just go up to, hey, can I buy you a drink? That was never my style. My style was more, having a conversation with you and to see if we could, you know, carry on the night. But
Yeah,
and
but I
then
think I
again,
think that's in the back. That's in the back of the mind of like most people who want to buy you a drink. They like kind of hope that they kind of like want to hang out a little bit.
yeah, but I've
Yeah,
seen guys just jump right into it. Like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And for some guys, it would have been like, because if they look like a model, people that you probably don't see in the UK because they got messed up teeth. The men, we got to talk about that. The men in the UK, brush your teeth. I don't know what the hell y'all think y'all doing. Brush your teeth. But that
yeah,
said,
some of you, yeah, definitely.
yes, some of you need to brush. It's just toothpaste and toothbrush.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, no.
learn from the Americans. Okay. Uh,
But not like this crazy white horse situation. I can't deal with that. Like when there's too much
do you
teeth,
need some
that's too much.
yellow? Angie, do
I
you
don't.
need some yellow on the teeth?
No, I might do for a bit, yeah. Like so, you get like people have like white. I don't like it when it's like overly white, and I need sunglasses to work to look at you, and I don't need them to be. You know when the people do like the fake teeth.
Even me can't just go up to a girl and say, "Can I buy you a drink?" I want to build a conversation. I want to build rapport with you. I want to,
But you
let
know
you.
that but about that, there are sometimes because I just remember sometimes you do accept like sometimes like yeah the bar is really busy. It's happened to me before, and that's fine because there's no agenda. It's like someone's like they're buying around drinks for their friends, and you're standing next to them, and you're waiting your turn to get a couple of drinks, and they say it's happened before. Like this happens like in London. It's happened a few times where they go, "Oh, what do you want?" And I'll say, "What are you ordering?" They say, "What are you ordering?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just getting a couple of glass of wine for my friend." They go, "It's fine, I'll get it," because it's so crowded. Sometimes they do that if it's really crowded, and they'll say, get and her drinks too, and then they'll pay, and then they go. Like it's literally just they're just kind of like, and that's kind of nice. Like that, I've accepted those. It's like, but you can tell it's not a weird situation. They just go, you know. Um, so that happens too. But yeah,
Get that COVID out. That's right.
yeah, yeah.
And all right. So Yeah.
Sorry.
Basically, me and you do what we always do when we get on call and we talk. We talk and we talk about. We haven't even hit the podcast yet, Angie.
I know.
Too
I
old for
know.
this.
Yeah.
So tell me how it got started.
Okay, so how I got started, probably about a year before it hit me, like what I was gonna do. For about a year, I was flirting with the idea of, I knew I wanted to do a podcast, but I was like, what I wanted to talk about. Like, should I just do? Because I do health and wellness as well. So I was like, should I just like whatever all the blogs I write, the newsletter I write, should I just like make the sound, the audio for it? And I was like, nah, that's just not an enough reason to do it. I was like, that's not it. So I didn't know what I was going to talk about. Anyway, so a year into that, having it in the back of my mind, this is like just before Christmas, 2018, and I'm waking up on the Sunday. It's actually morning. Sunday morning, and a few things had happened over the last, few months. I was just like, oh. And so I wake up a Sunday morning, and I go to the bathroom, and I look at myself in the mirror,
You took
and
a wee.
I look at myself I took a wee, and I look at myself in the mirror, and I was just like, it just came out of me. I was like, I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. And because this is an expression that a girlfriend of mine and I, we used to always say, like, when we were out in town and things. Anyway, that was our commentary, like, too old for this. And I was just like, I'm too old for this shit. And it was like this Sunday morning, I was just like really pissed off, and I was just like, I can't believe that I'm finding out about things that I should have known, that I wish I'd known when I was 18. I'm only finding out after 40. This is not okay. And I was like, there's the podcast. That's it. I'm gonna be talking to women. First, I was like, I was gonna, my first guests, they were all women. I was like, I'm gonna talk to people who have, they've gone through something, but they've learned something about it, and there has been enough time and space between the event and the learning of it, so we can have a laugh about it. They don't take themselves too seriously, and that's how I started. And I was just talking about, I was talking about sex, dating, relationship, health, misfits, but also had like business, and basically over time, I narrowed it down to what it is today, which is, it's a funny, outspoken podcast on sex, dating, relationships, health, misfits. And the health bit that covers both, mental health, emotional, physical, spiritual, all this kind of stuff. So it's interview based, and I have, anyone from like an incredible story, people who've escaped from cults, to sex workers, to doctors, to psychotherapists, to all kinds. And I have also comics on, I have jewelry on, so it is so now it's season 2 is currently, I'm recording season 2. I'm starting to editing it now, so it's going to come out, the season 2 is going to come out soon. Hopefully, like, what day is it today? What day in January is it today, Joe?
Well, the day this
Are
is
we the 6th?
aired.
7? No, but today, like,
This
we
is
recording.
today's the 7th. Yeah. So
Okay, so
for
hopefully January
everybody
is
who
going to come
doesn't
out. So it's coming in
realize,
January 2021.
yeah, for
As a
everybody who
season 2.
doesn't realize, you may be watching this maybe in February, but
Yeah.
right now it's January 7th.
Yeah.
She broke the third wall. That's just what Angie does.
Yeah.
But so let me ask you this. You talk about a lot of interesting people that you have met. And yes, I'm curious because I really need to know. Out of everybody you have met, and be honest, who was your favorite guest?
I don't think favorites. There are definitely a few guests that I stayed in touch with, including like you're one of them. Some guests, we've actually become friends. I didn't realize this at the beginning. I was like, I was like, are we keeping in touch? And I realized actually, we consider each other as friends. Like I was like, oh, okay, I'm allowed to consider them as friends because a lot of them, they live internationally. US, Canada, Australia, this kind of stuff. So. But yeah, some of them I stay in touch. Some of them I don't stay in touch, and it's not because I didn't like them or we're not friends. It's just you either whatever. I don't know. It's like you can't make up these things. No, I have a few people definitely. I think I don't have one favorite. It's impossible. It's impossible. Honestly, it's impossible. Um,
Okay. Let me
but
okay, let me help you out here. Let's redo the question.
you
Okay.
want you want of the top 10, Joey.
No, no. Listen, hear me, Angie. Easy, easy, chill. Let me refer. Who is your favorite guest that is from that's from America? Oh
Most
yeah.
of my guests are from America.
Ain't this about okay.
Well, if you want us to Alabama, I can tell you who is you.
So let's do this then. Why am I your favorite guest? And what is it about me that makes me your favorite guest? And I'm
Okay, this is
waiting.
your struggle. Um, so you're my favorite guest from Alabama,
No,
and
no, 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 no. You're not gonna do that. No, I want all your guests to know the truth. I want them to
no,
know. I want
no,
everybody in
so
London,
you're
England,
getting
to
me in
know the truth.
trouble. You're
No, you're
getting me
not
in
gonna get in
trouble.
trouble.
No, you know
They,
what? You're fun because I tell you what, they're on. I don't have many male guests on my show, and I've been wanting to do that for a while. And I actually out of the different interviews I've done, like I'm starting to now. It's funny. Ever since you got in touch, I'm starting now to get male guests that are like dynamic, more interesting. But the before, it's kind of hard to have. Do you know what? I can get in trouble. No, I don't have many. I haven't had many men as guests on the show, and you definitely, loads of fun because you've got that banter. You guys know in the US what banter is, right?
no.
Or do you, no? Oh, okay. So because it's a very British word, but I thought maybe it crossed over and over. So banter is now I'm probably butchering the definition, but basically the way I see banter is when there's like it's a bit like a game of tennis. You can so you say something, we can take the piss a little bit, we can make fun of each other or we can laugh even if we don't understand each other. It's okay, we can still laugh. Um there's like a dynamic going on. There's a word for this in I don't know what the other word is, but there's like a back and forth. It's not like you ask a question and then you answer, and then you ask a question, and like there is a flow, like
Right.
yeah, a flow, and yeah, there's a bit of a charm, there's a bit of a flirt, but it's like it's that thing that you need to have a good conversation on. I feel like on podcast or I don't want to be listening to I mean I do sometimes listen to podcasts that are like really a bit more dry or very polite because they talk about they're both, let's say, the two male doctors, and they're just like just talk. They don't necessarily. I don't know, it's maybe a bad example, but I feel like I just enjoy when there's a bit more. It doesn't have to be polite and dry. I don't like it when it's like it's okay if there's a little bit of interruption sometimes because that's how conversations go. I have to be careful not to interrupt too much, but like there's like a natural flow. We're not there to be politically correct. We're not there to be like people pleaser. It's you can be a bit rude a little bit. That's when you're comfortable with someone, and that's a bit of banter. Banter is like we're just going to be who we are, and it's an energetical match. Does that make
So
sense?
basic. Yeah. So basically, I'm your banter. Okay.
We have banter. You're not a banter. We have banter. You cannot be well. I guess you could, but like the expression is like you have banter with someone. You are
Okay.
not.
So
Yeah.
and here in America, we call it rapport.
Rapport. There you go. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, we just have rapport.
Mhm.
Like two lone lost friends who never met each other, and all of a sudden we met each other one time, and it's like, hey,
That's
that's
it.
my
That's it.
buddy.
That's it. Yeah. Exactly. It's a connection. Exactly.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
So to confirm, I was your favorite guest. Okay. What do we got in store for 2-0 for this?
Mhm.
What do we have coming up?
So what we have coming up is so I have a few comics on who
Hmm.
come on, and those we talked about what the pandemic what it was for them, how they manage isolation, like in the funny bits and the like the good, the bad, and the ugly of like lockdowns. um Also have I have a therapist as well. We come on and we talk about what did we talk about? She's great, by the way. You'd love her, I think. Robin Hornstein. She we talked about, oh, I remember now. We talked about because I've recorded like a 12 or 13 by now, so sometimes I have to like remember what it was I talked about. But for season 2, so with her we talk about some of the things we talked about is like how basically, you know, people's reaction over 2020, like, because that's something I wanted to address, was like how ugly people got, you know, in their behavior and stuff. Like, I think because, you know, it's important that to be okay with someone thinking differently to you. You don't have to, you know, be all guns and arms about it. Like, that's how, like, I just thought, like, you know, it's like how people, we're not talking anymore. People are not interested in conversation and debates. They just want to attack people. They want to shame people. And I'm like, I don't care whichever way people vote. I don't care whichever way, like, just don't be maybe in the extremes, but I don't care whichever way you're shooting. Like, you know, everyone come, you know, arrives to the decision for a reason. Everyone is justified in their own opinion. And it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It just means that they feel justified as much as you feel justified. So if we start to, if you want to create change in some way or in some form or another, you have to have a conversation, and you have to be okay to be uncomfortable with those conversation. So these are part of the things that we talked about with her. And yeah, I had like a matchmaker come on. She has a matchmaking agency. She matches people based on this, also based on the sexual kinks and preferences. You know, if someone's a sub, a dom, or if they prefer gentle, or, you know, whatever it is. Like, you know, she has a whole list. So that was fun. And yeah, all kinds. Like, what did I talk about? I had someone who also is like an intimacy coach is the wrong word, but intimacy coach for like couples. And we talked about orgasm and pleasure and relationships, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so the
You
topic is
could have,
very
Angie,
from like serious to like, you know, let's have fun to.
Angie, stop right there.
Mhm.
You could have had me on for all that. I mean, I could have helped you out on that. You didn't need
Okay.
to go get no professional. You could just got me. Like, but season 2 is coming up, and
Mhm.
yours truly, the best episode in the history of 2-0 for this ever is gonna be me on the show. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna be entertained. I mean, me and Angie. I know it. I know you're gonna do a lot of editing. I know you're not gonna put the whole 3 hours and
No, I
45.
can't put 3 hours on that. No.
Yeah, but if she did, it would have been the most entertaining 3 hours and 45 minutes you ever listened to.
It'll still be good. Yeah.
Yeah, we acted the fool.
Mhm. Yeah.
I remember doing the pre-interview, and you was like, "No, no, 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 stop, stop, no, no, save it for the interview." I'm like, I could do this all day. But with
But you
that
know,
said,
I've started to do less pre-chats now. I don't want to do those anymore. Like, unless I really feel, unless, like, for example, there's someone I want to have someone on who's she's a trans woman, and because I want to talk about, and I ask all the hard questions, you know, especially with topics like this. I mean, I had someone with like DID, which used to be called multiple personality disorder, and I will ask the question that people want to ask that they're too afraid to ask, because I want to encourage a conversation. That's how you create change. Like, you just, I want people to, you know, I want to understand. I want other people to want to understand as well. And so for these things, like, I will still have like a pre-chat, because I need to like make sure that they're okay with the type of questions I'll ask, and also I need to also be inform myself a bit. You know, like, what are the things, like, what are the things that we need to, you know, other than the research I do beforehand. So yeah, but other than that, like, especially like after you, I was just like, I need to stop doing those pre-chats, because the discovery calls is because you kind of want to keep it for the recording now, you know, like, keep it fresh, you know, and just be surprised. But yeah, so I don't always do them, but I'm gonna do them less and less now.
all right. Well, anything else you got to plug, or anything you want to share with the American people and the UK people?
But be happy. Yeah, don't, do you know what? If there was one thing, this is gonna sound like obnoxious now, because, you know, like, who am I to say this? But I feel like if we could just like stop being so angry all the times because someone votes different to you, or someone feels differently about or want to approach a certain movement differently, like, or want to do something slightly different to you, like, just be curious, have a chat, conversation, like, inform yourself. Don't just always, like, because the thing is, the more you shout and the more you mean and the more you try and shame and basically being a bully, basically being a little, the more ammunition you're giving to the opposition, the more you're making them see, oh my God, yeah, those guys are crazy, we're on the right side. So the more people are acting mean and being bullies, they just make it their case worse. So is that, I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's like, just be decent. Let's try and be a bit like, I just want 2021 to be just a bit more peaceful. It's okay to be angry. I get it. I'm an angry person too. But I was saying, it's just, don't try and be a bit more. I think we need to be a bit more humble about where we think is real, what we think is our belief, all this kind of stuff. But other than that, just to have fun, have a good laugh.
You know what, you talk about, you have this temper, and you talk about
Mm.
you can act a fool sometimes, but you know what, for the
I mean, I'm a
time,
nice girl. I've got a kind heart. I've got a big heart, but that's probably what gets me in trouble and what I act a fool.
and that's what I was going to say, the time that I spent with you, I can honestly say that I've never met a more interesting person than you, Angie. I'm humbled to call you a friend. I'm humbled that you did my show, and I'm humbled that you allow me to do your show. With that said, you're part of the CTS family. You always welcome back.
Thank
And to
you.
everybody else, if you want to catch Angie 2-0 for this podcast, check it out. Season 2's coming up. You got some very interesting people coming. You got me on the show. It's going to be wild. That's going to be the best show ever.
Well, you're definitely
But that's
special.
special. In America, special means
Mm.
a lot of different things. I don't know
Well,
what
here
it
can mean
means.
a different thing too, but I mean it from on its first sense, like special, like a special gift or a special, like, you make the top 10, if that's what that's what I'm saying.
I make the top 10.
But
Why
that's all I
not the
can.
top
That's all I
5?
can. That's all I can commit to.
No, no, baby, I'm number one. That's all there is to that. You
You're
can
in the
you
top
make
10, in the top 10, so you can choose wherever you want to. How you can read it different ways, right? So.
okay. I'm number one. Period. In the story. What the hell is your? But anyway, with that said, Angie, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. I can't wait to talk to you again. Stay on the line. Everybody else, see you next Sunday.
Bye.